And before we move on to this next, to the unit report screen, I want to make sure that you recognize the incident narrative now is on the first screen. You're going to see in just a second that there are now unit narratives for each apparatus who responds on the incident, who's attached to this. And so we're going to change our theory, or we're going to change our ruling on this based off this upgrade, is that the incident narrative is going to be for significant incident reports. Could be a battalion chief overview, it's a commander overview, something of that. Maybe it's a press release. Those that would go into this area. And so the incident narrative, your narratives would not go here. So please, narratives, report, or your apparatus narratives do not go in the incident narrative. We're going to capture that on the unit screen here, right here. So let's open up the unit reports. There's three different views that you could see. It's all the same information. Some of this information has already been populated based off of CAD, but we have Engine 1. It's a suppression unit. We don't know about its priority. It's 2 actions. It has 1 personnel. Again, some people have already started putting people in it. And so here's our dispatch and riot arrival, clear, in district, sometimes that are coming in from CAD. And this would keep listing for every unit that has arrived on that scene. If you want to just see a different view of the same incident or the same rigs, we can look at a reports view. So it's the same information, just laid out a little bit different. You can see here's report unit action. If you want to see, as soon as we put some narratives in here, you'll see the narratives will populate here, and so on. Or a different view is the personnel view. I can look at all the personnel who were on the scene, any actions that they took, and so on. Let's go back to the unit screen, and I'm going to say we're on Engine 1 today, and I could click anywhere in this box to input data for Engine 1. So I'm going to click on Engine 1, and I'm going to get something that we just saw similar. I have a bunch of child tabs here that we're going to move ourselves down. Engine 1 was dropped in by CAD. Its use is dropped in by default within the system. Responding from, where'd you respond from? I'm not worried about these because this is going to populate from our district. So we're not going to respond from. Priority, we do want to know priority. Were you priority? Were you not in priority? Initial, upgrade, downgrade, whatever you were. So how did you respond? Lights and sirens? No lights and sirens. This really helps when some people call us and go, it took 25 minutes for that fire engine to get to the scene. Well, if it did, that's okay. Just tell us why. Why were we, did we miss the address? Did we have, it took us a long time because we were at Station 8. We're going to Y Lake out in Station 15's area. And so give us some response delays if you have those. Incident times, these are all populated by CAD. Company officers, I'd like you just to take a look at these and make sure that they make sense. If you know for a fact that your arrival time right here may show that, hey, it was 8:15 because that's when CENTCOM finally pushed the button, or whatever the incident was. If you know that you were on the scene much faster than that, you can manipulate this time to make it quicker or to make it appropriate. And so I would just make sure that says if it's a 4-minute response time roughly, make those changes so that we can capture the accurate data for us. Actions taken. This is this is actions taken for this unit. What did Engine 1 do on the scene? They provide BLS. Did they provide manpower? Did they do extrication? What did they do? What units or what personnel were on this unit? This is where we put our personnel. You could search by the last name of whatever you would be, and I don't know who's in here, but you can start typing it in. So we're going to put Scott on here, and Scott and Appleton are the two on this scene, on this unit. Here is the location where you're going to put your narratives now. Now, I think it's important that everybody recognize we've had this drama with emergency reporting of missing narratives. One of the reasons it didn't matter whether you were in Zoll's records management system, whether you were in Firehouse, whether you were in ESO or ERS, it just didn't matter. Anytime that someone, 2 or more, or 3 or 5 people are in a web-based program, and you are trying to input data in the same field in our narrative section, there is a chance that someone is going to overwrite that data and we're going to lose narratives. This is the fix for that. So when I said earlier, please do not put your narratives in the incident narratives, put them over here. The reason for that is that engine 1 should only be the one in engine 1 screen. They shouldn't be in engine 2, they shouldn't be in engine 9, they shouldn't be in engine 14. So your incident narratives go under the unit reports, under narrative, unit narrative. This is engine 1's narrative. And we put out the fire. Okay. Once you're done there, we could click OK, and engine 1 is done. You'll notice that we have little triangles up here with exclamation point. That just means we have some validation errors. I don't have any validation errors in my unit, so I'm going to just keep moving on. If I went back to this reports view, you'll see that engine 1, now we can see their quick narratives that are attached there. Okay. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to change this to a different incident type so that we don't get a bunch of errors. I'm going to go to a person in distress so that we could clear our fire tab. And we have 2 validations left. So for this report to be completed, I want to know what my validations are. I don't want to go in. We have actions taken and EMS personnel must be greater than 0. So there must be some, we need to put some people on the other units. Let's go to engine 1 rescue 1, and let's just add some people to them. And we'll click OK. And let's go to truck 1, just for giggles. Let's add personnel there. Okay, we have 1 validation error. We need actions taken for the incident. Was that error that we were getting? So actions taken. I need to know what was my actions taken. We're going to do a pre-connect. And we'll move down. Whoops. Validation. Oh, look at there. It's kind of smarter than I am. The invalid action for this incident type. I can't have a person in distress and extinguish a fire. So let's just change that to 73, provide manpower. How about that? And let's just clear this one and make that a clear. And that should 73, provide manpower. There we go. So 73, provide manpower. We have all of our validations are cleared. One final thing I want to show on here on this one is this little dispatch. If you're looking for your CAD narrative, you want to know what CAD had, by clicking that button, your CAD narrative would populate here. So just so everybody knows, you could see that CAD narrative, it would populate up here. That's what that dispatch screen is. I think that for this video, this is all I want to see and all I want to share with you guys. I don't think this is a major upgrade. I think it cleans up a lot of the different areas for us. Just let's talk about a couple highlights here, and then we'll close out this training session.